The time is just gone 9:38 as we continue with the broadcast this morning. And we're going across to be joined by British journalist and author Yvonne Ridley. Now, it's been 13 years since the fall of Egypt's Hosni Mubarak. We all recall the Arab Spring. And thereafter, Mohammed Morsi just 1 year in office. And since then, it's been military rule, Abdel Fattah Sisi. Now, we've learned about Egyptians now launching an online campaign for Gamal Mubarak as the president, and he is the son of the former president Hosni Mubarak. Now, what does this actually mean for Egypt, and also looking at Egypt central to what is taking place in Gaza, coming under heavy criticism, was particularly with regard to the Rafah crossing, which they've closed since they've taken Mohammed Morsi out, and we see what is happening to Gaza at this point in time, and also Egypt looking at now possibly having civilian rule for a change instead of military rule. But all of this, at the end of the day, is just a possibility. Let's go checking some of these developments. Yvonne, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Walaikum salam, and thank you for inviting me. It's how time flies. For many people, it will just seem like yesterday that Tahrir Square was full of revolutionaries. And you look at Egypt now, and it's just a hollow, empty husk of unfulfilled promises. It's so sad.
Well, it certainly is, but also, just reflecting, obviously, 13 years, there was a lot of celebration at the start of the Arab Spring, the removal of Hosni Mubarak. At this point in time, the heralding of someone like Mohammed Morsi, who we know had ruled for a very brief period of time, for just around a year. And then once again, we see Egypt descending into chaos.
Yes, well, President Morsi will always be remembered as the first and probably at the moment last democratically elected head of Egypt, and we can always cast a critical eye on what happened during his presidency, but trying to turn a country like Egypt around from despotism to democracy, it's like turning a great big oil tanker around. It can't be done quickly, and I think people's patience was running out. Dirty tricks by surrounding Arab states that feared democracy was also a factor. And I just really feel for the Egyptian people, and I'm sure that if President Morsi were alive today and still in office, we would not see the suffering of the Palestinians on the scale that we are seeing now in Gaza, and aid would be getting through for sure. He was a humane, compassionate man who had an affinity with his Arab brothers, whether they were Egyptian or not. And I just feel very sad when I look what is happening what has happened to the Arab Spring. And they were heady, really exciting days. And I was reminded of this from an old video that we took in Tahrir Square. And when we were walking around, the organizers invited me up onto the platform. And it was the day that Hosni Mubarak stood down, and you could feel the tension in the air, and it was absolutely wonderful. I'm not often lost for words, but I was when I was put up on that platform apart from not being able to speak Arabic, to see. I think that was the day that there was 1 million people had turned out, and I was told, just shout Ehud Mubarak, which meant go Mubarak. And if you've still got a copy of, I put it out on Twitter the other day, and if there's a copy, you're welcome to use it. It really was a wonderful event. And when the news came out that Mubarak had resigned, grown men just wept openly, and the women were cheering, and it was just an amazing atmosphere. You know, the hair on the back of my neck is standing up just thinking about it. And of course, when we think about what happened in Egypt, we also have to think what happened just 2 or 3 months earlier on December the 17th, when a young Tunisian man who was selling vegetables from a barrow just finally snapped against police harassment and set himself on fire. And that single act of rebellion by a young Mohammed Bouazizi, who died on January the 4th, 2011, that single act just ignited the Arab world. And it shows how the act of one person can actually make a change. You know, a lot of people are saying, what is the point of us protesting and calling for a ceasefire in Gaza? Well, we have to remember that these acts of defiance and rebellion can lead to greater things. And I think the secret that we must learn from Egypt is that whatever is achieved out of Gaza, we must keep up the pressure and not let the world forget, and not walk away thinking, oh, great, mission accomplished, job done, because it won't be done until the last Palestinian is free. And that won't happen without a Palestinian state. And, you know, look at when we talk about the Arab Spring, look what is happening now. There is in the West so many protests, and I'm wondering if we are in the West are starting to go through our own version of the Arab Spring. If we are, we've got to really get the handbook out from Tunisia and Egypt, because when people left their homes to go and protest, they didn't return. They stayed out for weeks. And that's, you know, we have to learn that resolve and do that in the West, because, you know, we've seen over 1 million people turn out in the great demonstrations in London. Imagine if those people just went to Trafalgar Square and thought, right, that's it, we're not going home. We're going to set up our rebellious action in Trafalgar Square. So, you know, we still have a lot to learn in the West on how to do a proper demonstration. And but it's wonderful the way the world is coming together. And I tell you what, I have never seen so many South African flags since that wonderful action that the South African legal team brought to The Hague. It's amazing. Every demonstration now, we see South African flags. Of you know, people are so proud of what South Africa did, and that won't be forgotten either. I think that there is a solidarity coming across the world now, not of Africans, not of Arabs, but of people who want humanity, and it's wonderful.
Yes,
And this is what
Yvonne,
our
just
wretched
obviously
leaders have brought
time
us
is of the
to.
essence. Just before we let you go, I just needed your thoughts, just moving away from Egypt, but very briefly, Pakistan today, the elections taking place in Pakistan without Imran Khan, without the PTI, and just very quickly your thoughts now, because I think we see a lot of similarities. We've seen obviously. When Hosni Mubarak obviously was taken out, Mohammed Mursi, for a brief period of time. Now we're hearing about his son, Gamal Mubarak, talks about him being promoted to run as president for Egypt in 2024. And we see a lot of similarity playing out in Pakistan, where we've seen after a brief period, Imran Khan being taken out. And again, we see pretty much of the same in terms of Pakistan, the Bhuttos, the Zardaris, the Sharifs, again, a family dynasty, starting to play out in the elections.
Well, I look at Pakistan and I'm in despair. The internet is down. The mobile networks have been ordered down after voting started in the general election. They'll close at 5 p.m. their time tonight, which I think is about 12 noon here. And I just really despair. Nobody knows how to demonstrate like the Pakistan people. They're absolutely brilliant at making their feelings felt, and they're really suffering at the moment because of a broken economy, the legacy of the floods, and a corrupt government, American interference. And yes, America is interfering, and they should keep their hands off Pakistan. It's infuriating to see all of this meddling going on today. Who will win? Certainly not democracy. Today is a very sad day, and the Imran Khan is having an election without Imran Khan is like having a birthday cake without candles. He be released. It's just one of the most undemocratic processes, and Pakistanis are so proud of their democracy. But to do what they've done today, we've had a statement from the Ministry of Interior saying, well, precious lives have been lost. Well, those lives are only precious when it suits this corrupt government. And you can see that they're going to use security as an issue to clamp down on the people. And they're playing with fire because, as I say, no one knows how to protest better than the people of Pakistan. So I feel as though this election will be a farce, and it will have consequences. I just hope it doesn't spill over into neighboring Iran and Afghanistan. I just don't know what's happened. You can't even mention Imran Khan's name on television. You can't ban a legend like Imran Khan. And it's of course, you must look back and think, oh gosh, I remember when we weren't allowed to talk about Nelson Mandela. And this is the same sort of thing that is happening. You cannot force people, especially naturally rebellious people like the Pakistanis, into voting for people that they don't want. So it's it's a battle at the moment with the Pakistan People's Party, Tehreek-e-Insaf, which is, of course, Imran Khan's party, and the Pakistan Muslim League, led by Nawaz and Shahbaz Sharif. And it's basically two old corrupt dynasties, Bhutto Zardari and the Sharif gang. That's a choice between a frying pan and a fire. And of course, the people want Imran Khan.
Well, Dr. Yvonne, we will obviously follow up and let's see what actually transpires today. But I'm sure you and I will be in touch and to discuss a lot more about Pakistan after the outcome of the elections as well. But for now, we thank you. We say Jazakallah to you for your time. We wish you all the best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much. Wa alaikum salam.
Dr. Yvonne Ridley was us this morning, unpacking 13 years since the fall of Egypt Hosni Mubarak, and also touching briefly, because there are many similarities in terms of what's happening in Egypt and Pakistan. The time is just gone 9:54. We're going to go for a quick break. We'll come back. We'll be joined by Maulana Adam Feldman. We're talking Al-Aqsa Week, the essence of Aqsa Week. He is with the Northern Cape Ulama Council.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The